decimals. Certainly no shortage of info in your hardcover book. Your hardcover book, I'll reference it from time to time for you here. Boys?
Yeah.
Other boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's rare. You're so trained like a dog at this point, but no, boys.
Yeah.
Right. Feel free again on your. I'm not saying you got to write all this down here, but your book is. Think of it like a dictionary or a thesaurus. You can see they're talking about comparing and ordering. The book does have good examples in it. I won't dispute that, but they have all this other stuff as well, and it makes it much more. It tends to be more confusing than helpful at times. It's just like too much info, but if there's ever lessons, again, think of the book. They show it complete answers, how they walk it through, how they did it. You won't have this part in your book, but this is what your book would look like here, your hardcover book. So you can always reference it. I mean, especially when we get to adding and subtracting, I will give you my spiel about it. We will practice it, no doubt about it. But with these positive, negative numbers here, the rules, I'll give you that. What if the signs are the same? What if the signs are different? All stuff that we've done before here, but the book, again, will show and give you more examples to an extent, right? So it's always there if you want it. Again, sometimes I'll reference it to you, not often, but it's like a dictionary. I'll do my part when I can here, but the book, think of it as a second option. If you ever get to something tricky, maybe it'll help, maybe it won't. I don't know. Won't take a long time to look at it, usually not. So comparing and ordering. We've done this, of course, before. When we are comparing, there are two values involved with comparing, and it's simply, is it less than, equal, or greater than? Three options. Comparing values. And ordering, you'll have 3, 4, 5 numbers, something like that. You put them in order, either least to greatest or greatest to least. As always, read the directions when you do these. Least to greatest. Then they flip it over, and now we go greatest to least. So, same general concept, comparing with two values, ordering with 3 or more. Right? How do we do it? What do we do? Number 3, looking at page 67 here, no vocab, so we're right in our notes. So I have 4 and 4/10 repeating. I have 4 and 421 thousandths on the other side. Greater than, less than, or equal to. How do I know? So first thing I always like to do, especially with decimals, is you should consider rewriting them all so everything has the same number of decimal spots. So which of these two values could I rewrite?
4 repeating.
Right. And how would I write it with the same number of decimal spots?
4.444.
Right. I would write 4.444. Again, I picked 3 decimal spots because the value I'm comparing it to has 3 decimal spots, right? Now, which place value is where I can make the determination of where my final answer is?
The first one.
What place value
The second.
is, that's not a place value.
The hundredth.
The 100th, thank you, Sid. The 100th column. That's a place value. The second. What place value is the second? Right, the 100th column. So whenever you're comparing, ordering, always start on the left. 5 is bigger than 4. If I had 5 over, that would end it. But nothing to learn in the ones column. 10th column, I got a 4. But in the 100th column, 4 hundredths is always going to be greater than 2 hundredths. Doesn't even really matter what these digits are. Not if we're comparing them. 4.4 repeating is greater than 4 and 421 thousandths. There's my proof. Try number 7 and 9. see how this goes. 7 and 9.
I know.
Okay. So, what did you get? How did you know? So on and so forth. Tell me something useful. Of course. We're going to put her back. We won't wait for her. We could all just sit here silently. Oh, Sarah, number 7. She would hate that. Yeah. All right, Dom, number 7.
Okay, so the thing that you look for is in the hundredths column,
Yep.
and it's less than.
Yeah, it is less than. So he realized, again, if you want to write it with, that's cool. Good first step. In this case, I guess it was kind of irrelevant because the answer came before that decimal spot. So, number 9. What do you see in Jackson?
So the 0 doesn't change the number at all on the right. So all the place values are the same, so it's equal to.
Right. If I write them with the same number of decimal spots, I would just write a 0 there, and they are indeed identical to each other there. They're equivalent. Let's look at number 11.
So tough about the same.
So 10 through 18 are, again, we're still comparing, no difference here, but the difference is now they're going to throw two numbers at you that are not 12, but generally two different forms. I see one fraction on a side, I see a decimal on the other. This means we need to make a choice here of how we want to proceed with this problem. Whenever you're comparing and ordering, regardless of, you need to get everything in the same form. Meaning, either I should rewrite this as a decimal, or I should rewrite this as a fraction. I'll do it both. Well, maybe I'll pick another one here, because this one, if I convert this to a decimal, do you know what 1/4 is as a decimal? What is it?
25 hundredths.
It's 25 hundredths.
Yep.
Right? 0.25, 1/4, it's a decimal. So, helpful if you just know that. I mean, but if I put a 0 on there, we should be able to see that they are equal. How did we go? We converted this to a decimal. Could I turn this into a fraction? 250 over 1,000. That's, get rid of one of those. Divide by 25. And lo and behold, I'm back to 1/4 here when I simplify that whole thing down. You can go either way. Let's look at number 13. So I'll let you ponder it out for a minute.
1/8.
-6 and 1/8, -6 and 18 hundredths. Greater than, less than, or equal to. How do you know? So, officially, as it stands now with the skill sets you've been taught in 7th grade, if you're unclear on what to do, so on and so forth, I would convert to decimal, because that's what you've learned how to do in 4.1 and 4.2, right? You've learned how to convert fractions to decimals. So, for where we are today, and what you've done the last 2 lessons, you know how to convert to decimal. What's 1/8 as a decimal? You got the eighths memorized yet?
No. 6.125.
-6.125. That is correct. Remember the eighths, 125, 250, 375, 500, 625, 750, 875. But 250 is 1/4, 500 is 1/2, 750 is 3/4. Simplified. the eighths. Well, it's just if you can learn or remember, it'll help you.
It's not healthy.
So now I can compare. What's the final answer? Okay, I'll pull a stick. Damien,
What's the answer?
Greater than.
Oh, you said it
how do you
wrong.
know?
You have it right. You just said it wrong.
Oh, less than.
How do you know?
Because in the 100th spot, an 8 is bigger than a 2.
They're negative values. That's negative 6 1/8,
Oh.
negative 6 1800ths. Huh?
I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I do,
You
but
got it right.
just say less than.
Less than.
Yeah.
I disagree. Brooke,
It's greater than because
What?
they're negative values.
negative 2 is greater than negative 8. Greater than. These are negative values. Again, got to be on your toes here. They're going to shift all over. Positives, negatives. Remember, negatives are backwards, right?
Yeah.
Right? Negative 2 is greater than negative 8. If I make a number line, negative 8's over there. There's negative 5. There's negative 2. Number lines are always less, and there's 0. Yep, greater than. Greater than. If it was positive 6 1/8 and positive 6 1800ths, well, then it would be less than. But if it's negative, it's greater than, right?
Yeah. So,
Try 15 and 17. I'll pull 2 sticks.
I didn't. What did he say?
All right, 15. Savannah, answer.
Oh, I did 16 times.
Oh no.
Oh, oh,
That's why I pulled the stick so fast, but I guess that didn't connect yet.
Yeah.
Sierra, 15.
Says greater than,
How do you know?
because,
Oh.
it's negative 2/9,
And what's the other side?
and the other side isn't negative, it's,
I think what you're trying to say is any positive number is always going to be greater than any negative number. That's what I feel like. Right. So that one, you didn't need to do anything. No time to, you don't need to division bar this or anything. Positive number is always going to be greater than a negative number. So it seems so silly to start by checking your symbols first. But before you start doing grunt labor work, make sure you didn't get a softball thrown your way. Right? Good. 17 shouldn't be too hard either. Savannah?
What?
17? What's 1/2 as a decimal? I don't know if she's close or not. No, I got 2 of them working on it. Yes, if you know what 1/2.
So 0.5, 1/2 as a decimal is 0.5.
Yep.
So then, it's less than 1.
Right. It is indeed less than. 2/10 is indeed less than 5/10. Good with that? Good. All right, comparing 21. So we will put these in order from least to greatest. So again, when you are doing these, be very aware, like 24, I see they got a negative, a positive, a 0, a negative, and a negative, right? So they will indeed shift signs up like that one. See how they tucked in a positive on you all of a sudden there? Not uncommon. Here's another one. There's 2 positives, 3 negatives.
What number are we? That's it.
I'm trying to show you here that you need to be very aware on your homework, ditto for your quiz and test, that the symbols will be different inside the problems, perhaps. So be very on top of that, okay? Your strategy should be, this time we don't have any fractions cluttering up our work, so we don't have to worry about converting anything. So really the name of the game is ensuring that everything has the same number of decimal places. The best strategy you can possibly use, in my opinion, is to rewrite all of these in a vertical up and down form. Meaning, doesn't matter how you do it, but that really doesn't matter the order you write them either. And then I would rewrite them all with the same number of decimal spots. So from this point here, it wants sit up here. Just sit here. So from this point here, now we can start looking, if we want the smallest value, that one should jump right off the page. What's the smallest value?
0.6.
Well, back to words now. Negative.
625,000.
Right, because 0, 0, 6, 0. So this one, first up, smallest value, boom. And then I tend to cross them out when I use them. So that one's first. Which one's second?
Negative 63,000.
Right, again, now we're pretty much done with this column. There's nothing more to learn. To the hundredths column I go. 500s, 500s, 600s, negative values, of course. So that one's second place. Third place.
Negative 58,000.
Right, and now I have to go over to the thousands column to find the answer between these last two, because nothing to learn in here, nothing to learn here. And then finally, 500ths must be the greatest value. Putting them in this order here is going to make all the sense in the world. With these types of problems, they're trying to trip you up and trick you with these problems. That's why they're going to pull negative symbols in and out. You're going to compare positives, you're going to compare negatives, you're going to compare some positives, some negatives. They will shift it. They're doing that intentionally. You'll have varying number of decimals and things here. Again, it's not hard to get through, but you have to have a strategy. Okay? You guys try 23 and 25. So arrange from greatest to least.
Is it fine if we just put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by it?
Yes. Tom, can you please be quieter? Gotta make sure I write them all right too. So, yeah, writing them out in the notes is a little tedious. I get it. So when you're doing it, if you just want to speed it up and just write them all in this form, that's what I would do. There's that one. So first move I made was to rewrite both of them. I just copied these numbers over to this side now. Now I got all four of them lined up. I tried to keep my place values all together. With all these ones, it might be a little hard to see them all, but you gotta be able to. Maybe I should have rewrote this one a little better, but this strategy will only work if you're making sure that you're comparing the right place values to each other. If you get them all jumbled up and you're comparing different things to different columns, well, things will get more difficult. So you can just rattle off the number to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the order, so to say? And we'll do a couple on the back, and probably be good for today, I think. We're gonna move in science today. I still gotta do that other online lab, try it. See if it's an option for us for next unit. Alright. So 23. Give me the order here. Brooke.
So negative 45 and 500.
That's first.
Negative 44 and 96 thousandths. Negative 44 and 500. Wait. Negative 44 and 500ths. And negative 40 and 97.
Right. That is the correct order. So nothing to learn in the tens column. Negative 5 is definitely the smallest. Boom. This one, again, I could put the 4 next to this one pretty early in the process here because 0, 4, 4, right? This one is clearly the largest value, right? So I'd probably get that one pulled off early. I realize it's not the second one. You can do as you want, but just for my sake, I can just cross it out or whatever you got to do, but that's 4. So it really comes down to here now. And then negative 9 is indeed smaller than negative 5. So that is the correct order. Good. 25, Evangeline.
So I have 1, 2, 3, but I see you wrote it down. Hold on. Okay, so 7 and
So you can say number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4. Which of those is the smallest? Number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4?
number 2.
Number 2, I agree. Followed by
Number 3.
number 3, I agree.
And then number 4 and then
And then number 4 is correct. And largest value is the one up on top there. That is correct. So again, smallest to greatest. Number 1 pulls itself out pretty quick. But then a 1, a 0, a 1. This one should pull itself out pretty quick too. There's that one. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 2, 2. But the last determination, you got to go all the way over there to figure it out. Which means writing this one with that 5th decimal spot, getting that 0 in there is a helpful strategy for this one here. Because you're comparing that hidden 0 that you wrote in yourself to compare these last two values to each other. Okay, a couple more on the back and then we're done. Let's see here. How about number... We should do a positive and a negative. Which ones do I like, though? 29 and 35. And great minds think alike. Again, if I was you, would I write them this way and then instantly rewrite them? I would not. I would go instantly to getting them in the up and down form. But I am writing them out how the book does, and then I will rewrite them in just a moment. So 35 has 5 values. Greatest to least, I'm sorry. Right, switching it all up on you. Yep, no, it's okay. Yeah, we are switching the order. Switching. This time I want the biggest number first. What is the biggest number? Biggest number first. Switching the order up. So greatest value first. Smallest value last. So I'm just going to rewrite.
And 35.
Yep. So I rewrote with same number of decimal places. I tried to be real careful about being neat and getting all my place values so they're all kind of in the same spot. When I can look up and down a line, I can see all the place values that I'm next to each other. Again, write bigger if you want, or more space, or whatever. You do you. Okay. First one. Sig.
Yeah.
Greatest value.
So, the greatest one is 0.7200.
So down here. Okay.
And then the second greatest one is 0.7170.
717 thousandths.
That too.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then the other next one is 0.7.
7/10.
That too.
7/10 up there. Yep. And then by default.
It's 0.0772.
I thought the last one you'd give it the go here, but 772 ten thousandths. Right. Order's good. Saying the numbers a little iffy on that one there. Okay. So good. Again, personally, if I'm doing it, first thing I would do is label that one as the fourth and just start comparing the other three then. And I can make all the comparison in the hundredths column with the other three. 200ths, 100th, 0 100ths. There's my compare. Last one. One of you gets to do it twice.
I don't think I've done yet.
Well, you had to compare at the start. You want this one?
Yeah.
So, all right, Dom. What's my order?
0.6. 6/10.
6/10. Yep.
Okay. 68 hundredths.
Thousandths. Right.
Negative 608 thousandths.
Uh-huh.
Negative 68 hundredths.
Perfect.
And then negative 7.
Right. Well done. This one again, they're just throwing them both at you at the same time. Obviously, positives are greater than any negative number. No dispute there. But in a sense, you need to first make sure you compare these numbers to each other properly. Greatest to least, 6/10 is bigger than 0/10. There's the comparison right there. Positive values. But then they shift you over to negative values where the order changes. -6 is by far the smallest value. And then it comes down here to the hundredths column. 0 hundredths and 8 hundredths. So greatest to least, 0 is greater than -8 in the hundredths columns there. And of course, this one's an outlier all by itself. It's the only one that has a value in the ones column. It is significantly smaller and far away from the other four. That's about all I got. So is it too hard? I don't think so. You just, again, you got to be on your toes. Be on the lookout for fractions. Where are you going? Oh, for what?
Looking for pencils. I don't have any.
It's not your day. So, not hard to do. I don't think. Takes a little time. Takes a plan. Takes a little bit of penmanship and just, making sure you're comparing things. So they're trying to trick you and trip you up a little bit here, but if you have your strategy to rewrite, if you understand what you need to do when you see a fraction involved here, then you'll be just fine. Okay? Really not that challenging, I think, in the greater scheme of things. We're saving the good stuff for later on in this chapter. Questions? Okay. We are still math, so you can work on your homework for a bit.